Hey, Foster Florida Village. I'm Lacey Bassford, the Director of Outreach.
And I'm Christy Sutton, Director of Advocacy.
At Foster Florida, we seek to support families on the front lines of foster care who are caring for their vulnerable children right here in your own community and right here through the state of Florida. And we do that by mobilizing and equipping their communities to wrap around them and serve them, so we're creating stronger families who are caring for our most precious children. In 2019, we invited you to take a peek at what we do here at Foster Florida, and you guys just blew us away. And because of that, we were able to provide support for more families in 2020, and it was incredible.
And so this year looks a little bit different. We're joining you tonight virtually, but we still want to give you a peek at what we do at Foster Florida and the impact that you are having right here on people in your own backyard. We want you to meet the Nelson family. We're inviting you in to take a glimpse at their day-to-day life and see how your generosity has impacted their ability to keep saying yes.
Yeah, our family is crazy. We have 7 kids, 4 that have been with us for a long time, and 3 that have just come to be with us since February a year ago. We started doing foster care in 2018. Was it 2018? Mm-hmm. And so we've done foster care for a few years, and then we had the first little baby as just a baby, and after he is with us for a bit, he went with another home, and then we had an opportunity where they all needed a home, and so we prayed about it very carefully and said yes. If we say yes, we need to be fully in and say yes, that these kids don't have to bounce back and forth.
Our kids' ages are 17, 15, 17,
12,
15, 12, 9, 6, 3, and 2. We have 3 boys and 4 daughters. Yes, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
We had Carson for 2 months as a newborn, and then he moved in with his siblings in their foster home. And then about 6 weeks after he had left us, we got a call that wasn't working out and they needed a home. And because we were already bonded, like our hearts were already tied to that baby so much. And because of that, we were able to say yes to 3 kids, although we were only licensed for 1.
You have to give of yourself and be willing to kind of drop everything so many times and say, hey, this is our new normal.
We went from a family of 6 to a family of 9, just like that. So fostering isn't just Corwin and I doing it, it's all of us doing it. And all of the kids have to be on board. All of us have to grow. All of us have to adjust and adapt and sacrifice and all of that. And even though that's something that's really hard, it's also a really big blessing because you get to see your kids just grow and change in ways that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. So this is a pretty amazing story about the power of Foster Florida. We were getting ready to take on the 3 extra kids, and we were gonna go shopping and buy all the bedding we needed. We needed a crib, all of these things. And I also had something I needed to drop off at Foster Florida. And so I went and dropped something off there, and I told Lacey, I need to go shopping. I gotta buy a bed, I gotta buy a crib, I gotta get all this stuff. We're trying to get 3 kids. And Lacey's like, you don't need to buy that stuff. And I was like, no, well, that's what, we're gonna go do that right now. And she's like, no, you don't need to go buy that stuff. And right there talking with me, she took a picture of me and put it on Facebook and said that, this is what this family needs to take on a sibling group. And
just like Lacey would do.
Yeah, and so she took that picture and I was like, okay, whatever, let's see what happens there. All the kids were with me and I got out to the car and I was like, Lacey just took my picture and put it on Facebook, and she said that all of this will be provided. So let's just take a minute to pray about this. I was prepared to go out and spend tons of money on everything that we needed, not knowing that there was this village behind me. And So I got in the car and I prayed with the kids, and I'm like, Lord, if you're going to provide this way, I pray that you will provide this way within the next 5 minutes, because otherwise I got to go shopping. And within 5 minutes, 100% of the things we needed were completely taken care of by people we didn't even know. Like, someone had a crib, someone had a crib mattress, somebody had a mattress, somebody had a box spring, it all came separate. None of it came together, but God provided it all through random people who didn't know us. And just like that, in 5 minutes, I was like, I guess we don't need to go shopping. It's all here. Like, we just have to go get it now. Just the encouragement, like, because I was scared out of my mind. I'm like, oh my gosh, why are we doing this? This is a bad idea. This is too many kids. And anytime somebody dropped something off or I picked something up, they would speak words of encouragement to me. Like, we're praying for you. God's going to use this, whatever they said. And so not only were we provided for materially, but even emotionally with people I didn't even know existed. And they're like, we're praying for you. 2 weeks after we got the kids, and it was the longest, hardest 2 weeks of our lives. The adjustment was rough. Corbin was going to Sri Lanka for a 2-week work trip. So I had 7 kids on my own for a solid 2 weeks, and he was 30 some hours away, travel time. And I remember telling Foster Florida, like, my husband's about to leave for 2 weeks. I have these 7 kids. I don't know how I'm going to do this. And right away, she rounded up the troops, and I had people bringing us meals. I had people, like, somebody came over and babysat the kids so I could have a moment to breathe or do laundry. I think our meals were covered every night that he was gone. Just people I didn't even know were like, hey, I'm coming over at this time to drop off a meal, and which was amazing because I wasn't even able to breathe yet at that point. The adjustment was so raw and so in it that I couldn't do any of that. And so I couldn't imagine going through that 2-week time without Foster Florida. On my own, like, I don't think it would have worked. I think it would have went south real fast.
When we first got the kids, it was pretty crazy. It was hard trying to figure out, like, they're strangers living in your home now. You don't know them. And to get Carson back, it was like trying to figure out, it had been like 2 months, so trying to figure out how much he had changed, and just really the challenge of that was really hard. But then to watch them grow up and to realize, like, slowly as they become part of your family and then your siblings legally, it's a very amazing thing to be able to watch them and realize, like, God had his hand in this the entire time and he saved them. And just watching how much Lauren has changed and how much the boys have changed, and just the love that's growing inside of all of them, and us as a family. I think it's really cool that so many people are willing, even if they're not able to have a foster kid, just willing to be able to help people along those lines. Because really, like my parents said, it is impossible to do it by yourself. And if not impossible, extremely difficult. And so just seeing the support of people that we don't know coming alongside us and say, we're gonna help you because we care about your family, but we also care about these kids. And just that, even though they're not directly fostering a child, they are impacting their lives in such a powerful way.
Man, I was a pretty good parent when I only had 4 kids. I thought I had all the answers and I thought I had it all figured out. And through each foster placement, and especially through getting 3 at once, God has shown me that I need him and I don't have it figured out, and I don't have the strength to do this on my own. I don't have the ability to do this on my own, but God has been so faithful at being my strength and being my encouragement, and just teaching me a different way to parent. Because we've had to change some things, and he's been so faithful at showing me how to do this. And so really for me, it's just, I've learned to lean on God even more through it, because on my own, I didn't have the strength or the ability or anything to love the way that he's called me to love, and to serve the way he has called me to serve, and to lay down my life the way he has called me to lay down my life. And yet he's given me peace in all of that.
And just people behind it too, praying for us. Yeah, because as their motto goes, it takes a village to raise this family. And And part of that is people praying for us in that, and sometimes you don't even know who that is, but the fact that there's somebody praying for us to go through that, because it takes a lot of prayer.
You know, if you're called to be a foster parent, jump in, do it. It's scary and it's amazing and it's awful and it's wonderful all at the same time. But then there's some people that really aren't at the place to be able to take on children, but as foster parents, we need people behind us, helping us, praying for us, bringing meals to us, providing for us. Just like all of the bedding in the crib and everything that we needed, that was so much money that we would have had to pay, and people just willingly gave that. We needed the extra help. And I mean, it's scary taking on having 7 kids. Like, how are we going to afford this? But then you know that you have an army behind you. And so if you're thinking about joining in or contributing or fostering or whatever it is, you're needed. And what anybody can do, whether it's, there's so many levels to how people can help, and it's needed and it's appreciated. And like the people that helped us, I never got to say thank you. I didn't know who they were. Wasn't able to write thank you cards, but it was needed.
The other thing I would say to somebody is, be ready to love, and that's what we're called to do. And that's why we've, ultimately what was drawing us to it is that these children need love. All these children need love, and there's so many opportunities for it, so much need for it, and to be ready to do that. So whether it's you're getting it to actually be a foster parent or to support somebody in that, to be able to that's a way of showing love, is either being in it or supporting somebody through it.
Abby, can you tell me something that you love about your family?
I love that there's always so many people to play with you, so you're never bored.
How about you, Lauren? Tell me something that you love about your family.
I like that everybody will play a game with you, and then you will be with people a lot.
Can you girls look at each other and smile? Do you make each other laugh? Lauren, can you tell me what you would like to be when you grow up?
I would like to be a older kid and be with my family a lot.
This is the work that we do, but it's not possible unless you're here with us.
This is why we need for you to make room with us. Last year, we did the math, and for every $1 that you gave, we were able to increase that dollar almost 550%. That's crazy. We were able to take what you give and provide families with cribs, bunk beds, mattresses, meals, babysitting. The list goes on and on. Because of your yes, we are able to do so much more.
2020 is almost over. Thank God.
Praise.
And we have an opportunity now to impact like never before. When you come into the spaces with us and link arms to help care for children, families, caseworkers, judges, all of the people that are in child welfare, we can do so much more together. So we can leave 2020 behind as a dumpster fire, or we can move forward together, leaving a legacy of hope in our community that changes lives for eternity.
We are so quick to speak up in defense of homelessness, prison reform, and sex trafficking, but the reality is, most of those people have encountered in their lifetime foster care. And tonight, you have the opportunity to impact that. And it's simple. all you have to do is say yes in linking arms with us and say yes in making room.
Currently in the state of Florida, there are over 24,000 children in foster care. We at Foster Florida are caring for over 700 families, caring for thousands of those kids. And we're not done doing the work we've been called to do. In a few moments, you'll have the opportunity to text us to get connected to Foster Florida in your own community. But right now, we need you to give. It may be $5, $50, or $5,000. Whatever your gift is, know that we will steward it well so that we can continue to impact the families on the front lines of foster care by meeting their emergent and everyday needs.
So this is your chance to say yes, so more families like the Nelsons can continue to do the same.